Christmas season! Hooray! A time to make merry with loved ones, a time to give thanks, and a time to be a blessing. Merry Christmas full of amazing experiences. Cheers to a beautiful year end.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
You are watching Atlantic Television Network Business. This is a network medium of bringing the happenings in the economy sector of society to our discerning viewers. This program is aimed at bringing to the doorstep of viewers the business, financial and economic activities stock exchange across the world, news about government economic activities, private sector business activities, laced with experts' opinions, stakeholders' analysis, and correspondence reports. First, the headlines. Stock markets all share.
We wish you a Merry Christmas full of amazing experiences. Cheers to a beautiful year end.
From
$392.53 points, representing 0.55% when compared with 71,907.26 recorded at the previous session. Also, the market capitalization closed with a gain of 215 billion naira or 0.55%. The market capitalization closed at 39.564 trillion naira as against 39.349 trillion naira posted on Tuesday. The upward trend was due to sustained stock trading in Tier 1 banks, namely Axis Holdings, Guaranty Trust Company, Zenith Bank, Sterling Bank, and United Bank of Africa. As a result, the year-to-year return rose to 41.07%. Axis Holding was the most traded stock by volume with 60.18 million naira, while UBA led the value with 69.60 billion naira. Units traded. Axis Holding was the most traded stock by volume with 60.818 million naira, while UBA led by value with 69.60 billion units traded. SCOA Nigeria led the gainers chart in percentage terms by close at 22.05 naira per share. It was followed by Cornerstone Insurance, which went up by 7.41% to close at 1 naira 0.45, while Transcorp Hotel appreciated by 6.83% to close at 46.90 naira per share. On the contrary, Universal Press PLC led the losers chart in percentage terms by 9.82% to close at 2.48 naira per share, while Sunu Assurance followed with 9.38% to close at 1 naira 0.16 kobo per share. Week to date, while we still anticipate the sector to dominate the activity chart as some investors take position ahead of full year results, we expect gains to moderate with some profit-taking actions, said analysts at Vetiver Securities Limited.
Governor of Rivers State Siminalayi Fubara has presented an appropriation bill of 800 billion to the State House of Assembly for consideration. Governor Fubara said that the 2024 budget proposal is anchored on the projection of the crude oil price benchmark being 70%, 266 has been assigned for capital expenditure representing 51%. Fubara said the 2024 budget allocates over 120 billion to infrastructure, 40 billion to education, 30 billion to healthcare, and 20 billion to agriculture. Over 361 billion, that is 361, 99, 998, 224, 570.85k, representing 49% is allocated to the recurring expenditure, with provision made to continue to pay workers' salary, including that of newly recruited staff, into the civil service, as well as their grantees and pensions. The benefits, the Deputy National President of Nigeria Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, NACCIMA, Dr. Emi Members Otai, has called for the deliberate and stronger public-private sector partnership to boost investments and grow the economy of Rivers State. Otaji made the call in Port Harcourt on the opening ceremony of the 2023 Correspondence Week in Port Harcourt. In his keynote address at the ceremony, Otaji regretted that Rivers State was the oil and gas capital of Nigeria, yet oil and gas businesses and major businesses' decisions were being made in Lagos. According to him, for the state to grow economically, there must be deliberate infrastructure development across the 23 local government areas, as well as prospection of investors about Rivers State.
The Federal Executive Council has reviewed the waiver regime after noting its severe adverse effects on the Customs Service going forward.
The Nigerian Customs Service has revealed plans to embark in a radiological and nuclear detention program aimed at fortifying the nation's security against the smuggling of nuclear materials. Comptroller General of the Customs Bashir Adewale Adeyini MFR announced the strategy initiative during the inauguration of a 4-day capacity building workshop organized by the World Customs Organization at the Nigerian Customs Command and Staff College, Gawalada, on Tuesday, December 12, 2023. Representing the GGC,
Mike Goa had said that Nigerian ship owners have acquired not less than 500 units of new vessels since inception cabotage policy in 2003. Stated this in his official X handle recently. He said that the figure
communities would play in combating it.
Petroleum resources EPO has urged private sector investors in the oil and gas sector to commit more funds to their corporate social responsibility programs, particularly in the education and health sectors. He stated this on Tuesday in a statement issued by the spokesman of the Minister of State Petroleum Resources, Louis Iba. According to the release, EPO made the remarks at the University of Uyo Teaching Hospital, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, during the opening ceremony of the Accidents and Emergency Unit Facility reconstructed, equipped by the Nigerian LNG Limited as part of its hospital support program. The minister made cash donations to the management of the hospital to support the stocking of drugs at the new pharmacy of the accident and emergency unit and to offset the medical bills of some patients brought in on emergency but who cannot afford to foot their bills. The minister said the LNG intervention in the University of Uyo Teaching Hospital and other ones completed and donated to other teaching hospitals in universities across the country was in consonance with the priorities of the President Bola Tinubu's led administration. He also charged other companies doing business in the oil and gas sector to emulate the NLNG. The NLNG project in health care facilities in our universities is a consonance with
to statistics where 1,125 applications were submitted, 943 requests were approved, and 172 applications were rejected. The 2023 data reflects an increase in both the number of applications received and the granted requests, he stated.
The Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Boyega Oyetola, has urged journalists to set realistic agenda for the newly created ministry. Oyetola said this on Tuesday at the 25th anniversary celebration of the League of Maritime Editors in Lagos. The minister
on the operator's financial status and other vital records. Meanwhile, they in principle to give such guarantee to lessors worldwide. He said by the minister's promise today, the government has indicated that it is not paying lip service to its plans provided lifetime and support to Nigerian airlines, and a positive revolutions in the aviation industry is now imminent.
President Bola Tinubu on Wednesday sacked the heads of various agencies in the aviation sector, replacing them with acting and substantive head Odenowu of the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, Akinola Olateru of the Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau, Professor Mansour Matazu of the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, and Akali Modibo, the rector of the Nigerian College of Aviation Technology. He also suspended the Director General of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority investigation into the activities of the suspended Director General and other senior officers in the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority. The statement signed by Tinubu's Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Ajirun Galele, revealed Wednesday night. The statement is titled, Consequently, the President appointed Mrs. Olubumi Kuku as the substantive Managing Director of FAAN, Omar Farouk as the substantive Managing Director of NAMA, son of former Chief of Air Staff Mr. Alex Bada Jr. as the substantive Director General of the NSIB. Tinubu also named Professor Charles Anosike as the substantive Director General of the NIMET, Mr. Joseph Imaligwe as the Acting Rector of NCAT, and Mr. Chris Najumo assumed office as the Acting Director General of the NCAA immediately. The President said he anticipates that the new leadership across the aviation sector will uphold the safety, convenience and comfort of Nigerian people as primary and sacrosanct in all the administrative activities. Due to the high cost of underperformance in the sector, the President also demanded the immediate establishment of world-class policy design, implementation of regulatory frameworks to reposition the sector in alignment with his renewed hope agenda.
Chairman Senate Committee on Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Institutions, Senator Adeto Kumbo, Abiru has said that the 10th Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria will ensure that the best objective of setting up the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria by the federal government in 2010 was achieved. Abiru, who frowned at the huge interest rate that AMCON paid to the Central Bank of Nigeria, said if that was allowed to continue, it will practically make it impossible for the much thought MACON asset sunset to be realized. In a statement signed by the spokesperson of the AMCON, Jude Nwabueze, he said the situation where AMCON paid as much as 6% to the CBN and also charged some percentage on obligor whose businesses were already challenged, would AMCON intervene was not a healthy practice, as AMCON's current exposure stands at about 4.7 trillion. It said its committee would engage the CBN and all relevant stakeholders to take a second look at the AMCON funding models and interest elements and all other processes that would harden the resolution of the huge burden that AMCON presently carries.
The chairman, Labo Microfinance Bank Limited, Mrs. Osaresi Demuren, says the MFB has disbursed 1.4 trillion naira to small and medium enterprises. She spoke at the commissioning of the bank's new head office building in Lagos, which was widely attended by financial leaders and government officials. The bank has disbursed a cumulative of 1.4 trillion naira in microcredits to petty traders, smallhold farmers and small businesses, helping to energize and stimulate the economy for greater prosperity. She said, Lapo Microfinance Bank, as a development finance organization, she noted had come a long way. The chairman said its legacy organization, Lift Above Poverty organization, and a pro-poor organization was initiated in the late 1980s by Dr. Godwin Ehigiamuso. It was a non-governmental response to the spike in the level of poverty as a result of the implementation of the Structural Adjustment Program.
The Central Bank of Nigeria Governor Dr. Olayemi Kasodo has called on stakeholders in the economy to be innovative in bridging the financial inclusion gaps in the country. Cardoso said on Wednesday at the launch of the 2023 Access to Finance report by non-governmental organization enhancing financial inclusion and access in Lagos. The new report shows that the percentage of Nigerians captured in the financial service ecosystem has risen to 74% in 2023. The Apex Bank governor, who was represented by the CBN director, other financial institutions supervision, Chibuike Nwaweru, said that while stakeholders has done so much to improve the figures for financial inclusion, there was still a need to innovate to get more people in the bracket. The Central Bank of Nigeria, Dr. Olayemi Cardoso, has called on stakeholders in economics to be innovative in bridging the financial inclusion gaps in the country. Kasodo said this on Wednesday at the launch of the 2023 Access to Financial report by the non-governmental organization Enhanced Financial Inclusion and Access in Lagos. The new report shows that the percentage of Nigerians captured in the financial service
The Minister of Industry, Trade in Geneva in 2024 allegedly budgeted to cost 1 billion naira. In a statement by the Special Assistant to the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Tolu Walase Moyon, on Wednesday, the minister said such reports were extreme misrepresentation of the facts. We wish to categorically state that there is no line item in the proposed budget for the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment referring to any foreign trip to Geneva. The statement read, Rather, the only mention of Geneva in the proposed budget is with respect to the maintenance of the Nigerian Trade Office in Geneva, captured as External Trade Sector Geneva. Current debt 999 million naira. and it was deemed necessary to propose a budget that will serve Nigeria's outstanding debts in Geneva and maintain Nigeria's respect and global standing amongst the Committee of Nations. The minister stated that the total amount in the appropriation for 2024 was 1.61 billion naira, with the breakdown concerned both headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland.
The Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Ahmed Dani West, their office in Abuja. The minister, in a statement signed by Gabriel Odu from the Protocol Unit, NIDCON, on Wednesday said the overall goal is to ensure that our brother and sister sojourn abroad, and they also have the decent shelter over here in
Laughter and beautiful moments. From all of us in Morrison Communications Limited, Wish 99.5 FM and Atlantic Television Network, we wish you a Merry Christmas full of amazing experiences. Cheers to a beautiful year end.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentary, focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
people into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human
On the point of order.
Honorable they are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
And joining us in the studio is a market analyst, Mr. Raymond Ken